Welcome to day 3 of the 7-day TIA Ghana tour. 4 hours on the road, one destination that would change the tone of everything that followed. This is TIA Ghana Tour 2025, a curated group journey bringing a small group of 8 diasporas from across the US to Ghana for the first time, to explore the heart and soul of this beautiful country. After a warm welcome on day 1 and a deeper introduction to Ghana's essence on day 2, its history, diverse cultures, people, geography, and traditions, the group had begun to settle into rhythm. Accra provided the foundation and created the space for connection, allowing bonds to form naturally through shared experiences in the city. By this point, they were no longer strangers traveling together, and day 3 demanded more, not because it was the first time leaving Accra, but because it carried the emotional weight of the entire trip. This was the day designed to confront Ghana's colonial past, the origins of a dark history whose impact still shapes Black identity across the world. To understand Ghana's present, this history could not be avoided. Cape Coast was over 4 hours away and timing mattered. The group set out early, just after sunrise, moving before the city fully came alive. Packed breakfasts prepared by the hotel were already waiting, and as always, the bus was thoughtfully stocked with snacks, juices, and plenty of water. Small details that made a long journey feel comfortable and cared for. With hours on the road along Ghana's coast, the bus became a space for deeper connection. As Accra faded into the distance, conversations flowed naturally, sometimes light and playful, other times thoughtful and reflective. There were moments of shared laughter, moments of collective discussion.
Things that happen in the Black culture in Africa, the Caribbean, everywhere. You kill Ron and Deanna is getting paid by this next person. Now you know what I mean?
See, this is the thing. Even in Ghana, how many tribes do we have?
A lot,
right?
from what I heard.
Yeah, right? We have 54, 55 countries, all these divisions.
So we're divided.
And quieter one-on-one exchanges that allowed people to open up and learn more about one another. Together, those conversations strengthened the bond and made the long journey feel effortless. As the bus moved through Ghana's central region, passing towns like Kasoa, Winneba, Apam, and Salt Pond, the journey itself became part of the learning. Accompanied by a private tour guide, the landscape came alive through stories of history, geography, culture, and everyday traditions. Questions were asked, perspectives were shared. The road became a classroom and time passed almost unnoticed. Just before reaching Kakum National Park, the group made a brief but grounding stop at a local farm in Jukwa village, a small community that serves as the gateway to the rainforest. There, travelers saw firsthand how cocoa and rubber are grown, 2 of Ghana's most important export crops. It was a simple detour, but a meaningful one, a reminder that Ghana's story isn't only written in monuments and museums, but in soil, labor, and legacy in the hands of farmers and the land itself. From Jukwa, the journey continued. Ahead was Kakum National Park, one of Ghana's most popular tourist attractions, and the group's first major stop in the central region. What awaited would test courage, spark adrenaline, and shift the energy of the day before moving into deeper reflection. With Cape Coast still ahead, the order of the day mattered. Before confronting the weight of history, travelers were given space to experience another side of the central region, one rooted in nature, movement, and joy. This balance was intentional. Ghana's story is not defined by a single chapter. It is also about resilience, vitality, and forward momentum. In that way, Kakum tells a story of modern Ghana. The Kakum experience began with a hike up the hill to the canopy walkway. What looked simple at first quickly got hearts racing, even before the real challenge began.
I do this in my yoga class. Yeah. This is easy. It's not easy.
Right now we are in October 2025. During this walk we have been here for 30 years now. And within these 30 years, we haven't experienced any casualties on the walkway.
Suspended high above the rainforest, each step required focus and trust. Nervous laughter turned into encouragement. One step became the next. Before long, everyone was moving forward together. No one turned back. Every single person completed the full course. By the end, fear had given way to adrenaline and a shared sense of pride. It was energizing, empowering, and more fun than anyone expected.
You know, a little bit of danger to it, and you know, a little bit of rocking around, man, and you feel alive. It's awesome.
It's like playing in a treehouse, like a little kid.
Slow motion. I'm just sad I didn't meet Tarzan, but it's okay, another day.
Cheers.
Feeling good. Want to go back again?
This is Quakes, man. This is easy. Afropods are represented. What you talking about, man? We made it! Yeah!
Back at the base, the group exhaled. Coconut water in hand, fresh cacao pods straight from the farm, high fives, laughter, and a moment to take it all in before continuing on.
This is Africa!
From there, the group headed to Ridge Royal Hotel, where a generous buffet lunch offered comfort and care. A moment to recharge before the emotional core of the day. From lunch, the journey continued toward Cape Coast Castle, the reason they had come this far. As they approached, the energy shifted, laughter softened, conversation slowed. The excitement from Kakum gave way to quiet anticipation. Everyone understood what this place represented, even before stepping inside. Cape Coast Castle is one of the most significant sites of the transatlantic slave trade. Standing along the Atlantic Ocean, it tells a story inseparable from Ghana's past and from the history of people of African descent across the world.
No matter where you go.
Inside the castle, the experience was heavy and deeply personal.
This rainbows were the only source of light and air. When the enemies were lying, there was nothing to sleep on. Destroyed it. That is why we are fenced it, so that generation spreads.
Remember the road that will lead you home.
Walking through the dungeons, hearing the stories, and standing before the door of no return, forced a confrontation with a history defined by loss, brutality, and separation. It was not easy, and it wasn't meant to be. This moment was about remembrance, about understanding where the rupture began, about acknowledging how that history still echoes today in identity, memory, and lived experience.
Yeah, I feel like real salty about it. Like, it's cool to know, but like nothing good went down here. It feels like a very unpleasant like part of history. So you have to remember it, and you have to, you know, pass on that knowledge, or it gets lost and possibly repeated again in the future. So, but it hurts, and it's not like the tour guide said. How could you do this to your fellow man? You know, between the spaces, the death sentences, the rape.
We had to come across the ocean to learn this. This is not being taught in America. They didn't even know this place existed. No. This is not being publicized in America that this is happening or this place exists. So now we're in a situation where it's up to us, the people that can't afford to come here. We bear the burden, the hurt, the pain to go back and now tell the story. But we're still word of mouth, right? Our story is not being told. So we have this situation where there's a divide between Africans and Americans because the white people are telling Americans one thing and so forth. I feel like there needs to be some connection between current Africans and African Americans to tell the story yourselves, because we are letting white people tell our stories and they're doing this whole divide. You know what I mean? It just sucks to know that all black people went through this. So many lies, so many distruths, and it sucks. It sucks.
They just didn't tell us the whole truth.
Yeah.
We got a piece of it, but they didn't tell us everything.
Unless you come to and see this for yourself, you don't get it. You know, you hear all those commercials on TV and everything, but like when you meet people that are so kind despite everything that's going on.
After the tour, the group gathered quietly on the castle grounds. Some reflected in silence. Others took photos. Some simply stared out at the ocean, the same waters that once carried millions away from their homeland. This was the emotional center of the journey. The day had been designed this way on purpose. Movement before stillness, joy before reckoning, strength before reflection. By the time the group left Cape Coast and began the drive back to Accra, something had shifted. Day 3 wasn't just about seeing Ghana. It was about understanding it more fully and understanding ourselves within its story.
No matter where you go, remember the road that will lead you